What do we have here? We have a sawn off and a pipe. Let's go get some stuff from the... do we want to spend any notes here? Any points here? I'm going to get some more unlocks. Other of those. Let's just go... put anything in the armory for future. Bat drops, painkillers, med kits, drum magazines, extended rifle magazines. Probably pretty good. Or do we want to save for an M41A in the startup kit would be good. Start with all the weapons. Kind of feels like working towards like always cheese, but yeah, it's okay. We'll save towards those then. Let's go get our stuff. What can you get for me? Everything. Yeah. Now let's have a look at what we were doing for the difficulties. I was fine with the strongest grasping hands. I'm not sure I like the infected claws so much. 1 point, we had 1 point shortened life, which wasn't too bad. No, sorry, 2 points. 1 perk in the already dead, which means you don't miss out on a mutation, but you start out slightly a bit more infected. I think scarcity's fine. That one I'm going to bump up as we go along. Amount of fuel to be found. Reduces damage of firearms. They all seem too scary. Deadly traps. What's that worth? That's worth 10 points later for... Traps do 200% more damage, so whether that's implied that it's supposed to be triple damage or that it's a poor way of communicating double damage, I don't know. You get a reward of AMU shock drops. I think we purchased the AMU drops. What were they? The fragment drops? Basically turns all bullets into shrapnel. So every gun becomes a shotgun. Okay. Let's loot up this way first. Oh, guns are starting loaded now. That's nice. Okay, get that car last. Do any beepers? I want to try and get better at getting the beepers. I was watching some of yesterday's run, and I knew playing it. It just felt like the run was taking forever to find the beepers, and a couple I gave up on, which I think we definitely don't want to be giving up. Oh look, yeah, the chairs move around a lot more. That's great. Battery straight up. Good. Some 9mm. That's nice. That's everything from the office. Man, I love The Office. Fond memories of life at that time. Another battery. You little turds. Oops. Come here. That's nice. Alright, that's the fuel. We've checked all the cars in here. We've checked around there. Check this car. This is useless. Yeah, I got bored. Those big, those are the guys, these big chunguses. They're the ones sometimes that I confuse for sploders in the outline. And then a sploder comes running out and blows up in your face and you're like, ah, it's a chungus. Oh, I found it. It's over here. Oh, never mind. I thought it was here. Is it there? There's the thing. Get out back. Yeah, big chunguses. How you doing, 007? Oh, I got the joke. Nice name. Is it there? There it is. Right. Poison resistance aimed damage. Ooh. I think the poison resistance is bugged as well. I know. I think it's blocking infection explosion and not poison explosion. Which is not a bad one, but we don't. I wonder if that means you can you can just run through the explosion traps, the infection explosion traps. But I like the aim damage. Yeah, zombie survival's good. Just started this run. I'm gonna try and be a bit more thorough in the early zones. And usually pretty thorough in the first main zone, but I think I want to just try to be a little bit more so, like hitting up, just trying to hit up the extra cars if there's something or. The poison hurts you, yeah? The poison food knocks down some health, but if you're full health, it's less of a deal, right? Oh, it's 1 hit point. Right, that gives us some cans. So we can try some can bombs. Right, let's go. 1 hit point's not terrible. It's not good stamina either. Okay, we definitely want to hit the cache, but that means we miss out on a merchant. no matter what, we can only get one of each of these. So we have to, if I want the supply cache or the merchant. Mikhail's been really disappointing the last few runs. So I think I want to go for the cache. Which means I can get 2 large neighborhoods or with a store. Either way, we get a store and a large neighborhood. So it just depends whether I want a regular neighborhood or a large neighborhood. And I think you get more out of those. Yep, so we want that. First zone, I want to be, yeah, scavenging to my heart's content. You know? Get to the wall with a lot of stuff, and then we can be a bit choosy. Alright, that's a sploder, so let's see if we can get him to pop. Get down into here? No. Do I want to go gun yet? Kind of. Go loud. And start dragging them over. I think having the zombies deliver themselves somewhat can be beneficial. Somewhat. Not completely. Fine, where's that extra thing? Give me the thing. It's a store. It could be a battery. There it is. That's a board. That'll work. That board's only got 2. Let's... Not so swapping it out for the greed. More so because I don't want it to break if I'm fighting off a bunch of kids. Like here. But it's nice to get a bit of greed out of it. I don't know how the shotgun sawn-off would have gone there. Probably okay. Batteries. Okay, so straight up, even though with the scarcity, I've just noticed being just that little bit extra attentive to cars and everything else. Batteries. Low variance first time, really, really big and deep for the loot. But other people have said they sort of focus a lot more on early game, being very thorough. Okay, there's a fatty sploder. I want him to see me, and I want to get out. Okay, so I took out 2 of them. It's rolling away because I wanted to see how the sawn-off went, and it does alright. Oh, I've got a fire there too, so I can make a pistol suppressor if I want to. Which I do. That way we can choose whether we want to go loud or not. Well, early oil filter is good too. We can make a better suppressor if we really want. Oh, I want to get the flamer going first. Where's the other warehouse item? Yeah, oh, it's so good. Look at the kick in the bucket without getting moved around. That's really good. Before the buckets and the boxes and chairs, they would really get in your way, and it was a big feels bad. Now it's nice. Because you get this nice... Oh, I didn't change my board. You get the nicety of being able to kick around items in the game, which doesn't really mean anything. You know, but instead of being able to... If you can just walk over chairs and they don't move, it kind of... I don't know, it feels a little sloppy. Right? But having them hold you up feels awkward. And I think right now it looks great. You know, we kick them around, but they don't interfere with the movement speed at all. Perfect. Grab that bag. 5 things in here. Yeah, like doing something like this before, you'd just get stuck in that little reception area. This is good. I don't think there's any more house to loot, so we'll just check car. That's a sports shot rifle. No ammo though. Okay, might just leave things the way they are. So that'll be good for later. No scavenger beepers yet. Spoke too soon. There it is. Ooh, oh, what about the tack? 44. Do you want to save 9mm? Or I think I'm going to go for the 44 tack, the 45 tack as the pistol. First, because if I get 9mm later, then we go for like an MP5. Yeah. Let's quickly use this fire. Where'd you guys all come from? Where is the fire? Is it in the store? Oh yeah. We're going to the two larges, and then to the supply cache. Plan seems good. Now, do we have quieter crickets? Battery. There's a thing. Workbench? I don't think we can jump that fence, no. What are we making in the workbench for? We're working towards the flamethrower, which is firearm. Oh no, I want the gear axe first. Which is melee parts, and we have a gear. And I want to build to flamethrower first. Or next, which is oil filter, which we have, and firearm parts. The firearm parts, I need another gear. Right, so then we want to go like, how much scrap do I have? Six. Okay, let's make, I need knuckle dusters, which is a scrap, and that's a melee part, which is also a scrap. So we'll make 2 of each. Yep. I think you could probably use the... I know you can use the hand blades on the big guys, but the gear axe feels better. Like yeah, it's a not a guarantee, but definitely a safer spot, I think. Bag there. There's a basement. If we're going into the basement, let's... That's a sploder. Man, Sploder gets you there, you're going to be in trouble. I got infected antibodies, so that's alright. Is there anything else? Workbench. No. Am I hearing another beeper? I don't think so. Eight things in the house. I don't feel like we're getting shotgunned. Alright, house done. This car. Also go back to our car. That was terrible. Where's my aim, Panz? Where's your aim? Can I get to that ambulance? Donna. Hey, Palantir, how you doing? For a couple hours. Alright, see you when you get back, dude. Okay, we're playing the big battery game, apparently. I'm definitely hearing the beeper here. So things like that, if you're running past, the loot thing doesn't show up. So I think you have to be walking. So I'm going to try that if I hear one in the future. Stop running. And sometimes in houses too, I notice if I run over to an area, the loot thing doesn't come up until I'm walking around. Well, it's got the date, the thing, and the thing. That's from Walking Dead. I wonder if other zombie stuff has used that. I just got some propane. Oh, feels dead. Not dead yet, just stunned. I've got deadly traps on, so it's the oh no, I didn't take deadly traps. Okay. The fact that there is deadly traps and I haven't taken it, but I may or may not have if I ever remember. I'm more worried, especially since they made the change that that's a shotgun trap right there. That's definitely a shotgun right there. So the trap line is below it. You can see the trap line here. So we can stand there. Yeah. Can't get down there. Alright, this place is looted. No fuel though. Feels bad. The next one. Slippery skin, grapple chance, extra melee damage. Let's take extra melee damage. It's still early game. Dang. Learn to aim, dude. I think they tweaked the visual cues, like, for your character. The character seems to be responding to... we've got a lot of batteries, but that changes fairly quickly. That's a medical. Yeah, I don't know. It just feels like the... I don't think it's experience and getting a little bit better. I think there might have been a slight adjustment to... well, there's a trap. We can see it through the wall. That's the change. And there we can see the rope. Let's see something funny. Costs us a little bit of time, but... Come here, fellas. I didn't even get him. Half killed him. Guess we need to make deadlier traps. I was just saying, I think they made the character more astute at picking up where the things are, and I'm 4 out of 6 in this house. Oh, there's one. What if there's one in there? It's outside. No, I'm gonna leave that one. I'll take this back to the car. Man, construction and construction. We need... what do I need? I don't know. Gathering supplies, stim. We'll get a stim when we get further up. I don't know if I want to have 2 or 3 mutations. Where's the stuff? Outside stuff? It's gonna be fuel. I'm in a basement. That's the basement I got stuck behind before. We good to go here? Let's put the claws on. Or a board? A board should be fine. Okay, I'm going to quickly go up. And we'll come back and get that on the way out. I'm not going to wait for the poison cloud to disappear. I'll do the shed first and then go back in. Also didn't turn my flashlight on before going in, which is something I gotta remember to do, I think. I mean, you see where the enemies are because they're outlined, but it can help with just seeing where you can move if you need to sort of run away a little bit. And then I don't need it outside, so turn it off now. Another battery. This is not going to be a low battery run game, I think. I think with that in mind, I could probably stim now and let one run down, and that way when we get up to one, yep, I'm going to do that. Because you can only have an active stim and carrying one. I think if I was lower battery, I want to hold off, probably be okay getting this third mutation early. Since I've got one now, I may as well hold it off and use the stim, like have the stim hold back the infection. And that way if we're lower and we at a spot where we can find two, we get a bit better value instead of just either leaving one or burning a lot of a charge. We can go straight. Hopefully, we can go straight to the generator. Test out the new sandbag issue. Hopefully, it's been resolved. Though it says it's been addressed, so we can check that out, and it should make a big change. Exploder. You can get ears from them, but I think at this stage of the game I just don't want to be dumping that sort of ammo into them. Why is that not? Range, probably. Okay. There we go. M249 and an M41A. And a bunch of 5.56. Oh, it's better there. I mean, the light machine gun's pretty good. Oh, that is great. That's the way it's supposed to be. That feels a lot better. I don't want to go claws just yet. Let's. This little complex feels so bad rotated this way. I've had it a few times where the garage doors, like it's been rotated 180 degrees from this. So you're running in this way into the garages and it feels so much better. Even if at 90 degrees we're running sort of towards the top left, but running down into those. It happens, I guess, sometimes ISO. What do you do? Can I put an aiming laser on a sawn-off? Why not? Apparently you can't put anything on a sawn-off. Yeah, that's going to be... That's a huge game changer. That's definitely playing the way it was intended at the beginning. I'm so glad they made that change. Good on them. Oh, there's our fuel. Feels heavy. Let's run this one back in case the other one's a supply bag. Yep. Only 4. This little top area. Our workbench now. Can we get a flamethrower made? I don't know if they'll need firearm part. What do I need for firearm parts? Oh, gear. Okay. Scrap-wise, though, I've got 3 oil filters to make a better suppressor. I wonder if you need a better suppressor. Let's get the other 2 knuckle dusters and turn them into 2 more claws. I think 4 claws is the number. Need melee parts for that. And another melee parts. To make a 3rd one for when we need to make the other thing I think I need. Maybe I didn't need melee parts. I need firearm parts. Another gear axe, improve suppressor. I'm gonna check out see the improvements on the can bombs. If they're good, then we can make them. If not, we'll sell explosives. Looks so much better. I love the big blue oil filter. Looks great. So that's just a fire. We'll get this petrol. We're still going to loot everything. I still want to loot out. But alright, I heard the beeps. Yeah, it's definitely walking around when you hear the beeps. Is the necessary. I think that was definitely the problem I was having yesterday. As I was, to save time, I'm running around, but was making it impossible to see them because the icon doesn't show up if you're running. I think makes sense. Let's make some alcohol or some flamer stuff. Propane. There's the thing, something on this house. Move it over. Check this house and go. Oh, 5.6 is good. How are we looking? Ammo looks good. We're about to run out of 45, but that leaves us plenty of 9mm. We got probably enough propane for the end game, so that's good. Sawn off and... We got an M4. Oh, we've got two big... Okay, both of those work really well for later. Alright. Feeling good. Need somewhere to spend our batteries now. I guess you spend the first zone getting batteries. Second zone's about a 50-50. And then in the third and final zone, you're just hitting the drops up to spend the batteries there. Machine gun pointed. I love that change to the machine gun. I think that was so necessary. You can see the cord there. It's so good. We do the We're here. I think if you're running and you do that, you dive over it. I missed it. Where are you? Oh, it could be outside. No, it's okay. 9 out of 10 ain't bad. Oh, I got myself exhausted. Hey, big boy. Salt. Infamous magic mushrooms. Do I need to kill those guys? No. Is there anything down there that I want? Probably not. A beeper? Hey Maka, how you doing? No, gun durability is not a thing. You can have broken guns, which you can repair at a workbench with a piece of scrap. So you can find broken guns or you can start with broken guns. So that's about as close to durability. Come here, fellas. Oh, where's that shotgun pointed? Must already been set off. Yeah, so you might see some red ones. I don't know if I still might have one. Yeah, so it means it came broken. Oh. Oh, we swapped to blades now, I guess. Yeah, why not? Close enough. Feel good. I don't ever want to lose movement speed. Creatures that are bleeding nearby draw your attention, you'll deal additional damage. Maybe if we get the bleed perk, but I hope we don't push onto a fourth perk. Oh, wow, I can't believe you're just standing there. Have I got a gear yet? Flamethrower, no. Okay, so firearm part. Gear is what we're after. After a gear. What are the icons left? Oh, so when you win an entire run, you go back in and you have difficulty modifiers. And you can set different values on them for different total points. You need to set 30 at least. You don't get any benefit for going over. For what's considered tier 1 difficulty to unlock another drop you can purchase. So we did that and we won that one. And then so the next one for me is 60. So that's the 60 on the top. And then the modifiers are the ones I've chosen. Which is like stronger grasping strength, which is when they give you the bear hug and you've got to mash a button to get out. I often find with that one you're just not getting out of it anyway, so... And it's the one that happens the least. Made them attack slightly stronger. What's the other one? Oh, we infected at a slightly higher... Our infection progresses at a slightly faster rate. And there's items a little more scarce. That's the fish one. But if you're diligent enough, I haven't bumped that one up too fast. It's not proving to be too much of an issue. Yeah, so essentially it's a lot tougher, yeah. Negates a lot of... Starts to negate... Did I loot down here? Maybe not. Starts to negate a lot of the perks that you'll unlock. I did loot down here. Alright, let's go. What are you thinking? I can't put this down. Like, if it wasn't... I've got a fairly... I don't game off stream sort of situation. Because otherwise I'd be streaming on, I'd be gaming as I stream and I'd be gaming as I don't stream. Alright, made it to the wall. Hopefully there's a stim. I want to get a stim straight away. Want you get tips? Biggest tip I can say is put all of your knowledge at the start into gain more knowledge. And loot everything in the first zone. Like up until here. and loot all of this every time. Okay, so there's no stim here. Like, other things are important, but you want to get that knowledge up as quick as possible. Because it makes a huge... There's Chongo. Makes a huge difference. Now, oh, come here. Actually, if Chongo's dead, I can go shotgun. I'm gonna let everyone know we're here. Get his ears. Hey Valkyrie, how you doing, man? I'm great, dude. How are you? How's is it Tales of Arise doing? No, what's the... I can't think, the one with the X in the name. Iran X Sarah 7-1. Stop laughing at me, I don't know how to pronounce it. That's the last of the unarmored guys. You know what, I'm just going to shoot him because I can't be bothered meleeing him. I'm definitely putting a battery in on that. It's a lot of 7.62 and more shotgun shells. And it's only 79 mil. We don't have a 7.62 weapon. And I don't... Well, if we get a Saga, though... Tales of Arise. Are you playing? It is Tales of Arise you're playing. Okay, what's that other game that you're playing? The Neptunia one? It's only 100 supplies to go back. I'm going to take it. Let's go loot everyone. You might be laughing. That's okay. I know I botched the title. I'm okay with that. Another battery. Oh, Macca, don't worry about your backpack too. If you already have, it doesn't matter. But encumbrance really not a deal. I don't know if it's Neptunia V2. There's a game you're playing where it's got an X in the middle of the name. Something X something. I think they're going to fix it, so it might, like, encumbrance might be a thing. But until they do, it's not a thing. Where's the gate? So much loot, so many batteries, man. Grab this stem here. Neptuniac Sanran, that's the one. Oh, okay. I think Severo was wanting to get you a birthday present. So good that they fixed this. Ah! Get out of here, little midget. Looks like we're going 556, I guess. Alright, well, we're good and clear. Five, 5, 6, 7, 6, 2. All right. It was funny. He tried. It's not funny. He's just a generous guy. Okay, let's put the swap to the M4. The sharp shot. Actually, might take the sharp shot for now. Have I got a 9mm? G17. Alright, let's go. Yeah, the M4. I don't want to put the muzzle brace on it just yet because I don't want the faster follow-up shots. I want to be able to tink tink. I still got rounds in that. No, reload that. You're getting replaced with... Ah, nice. It shows which ones are being used somewhere else now. That's good. Alright, we're in a really good position now. We go to the cabin. Oh, Herc versus Cash. Both of those are going to lead into safe house, into store. Into final cache. We'll probably skip the campground. Rural neighborhoods, okay. Yeah, that's an interesting one. It is a military checkpoint too, which is more stim. I probably want more stim then. You want to skip the log cabins? Yep. Oh, I love the sandbag change. We're out of fuel, so we... Oh, I like this layout of a zone too. You know what, I'm going to do this first. Let's be loud. Oh, no, I want to find Chongus first. There's a spare stim there, so that's good. Is there a... Oh, it doesn't matter. I'll try and find the spider. So we don't get spidered. Well, there's Chongus. Hulk dude. So we also got to keep an eye out for spider. Workbench. I don't think we've found a gear yet either. Hey Jack, how you doing? And we've got a spare stim, and there's one on the at the Herc unit as well. Still haven't found that gear. I want to see how these go, so may as well use them. Probably shouldn't come in here until I'm ready to use the Herc thing. Yeah, okay, let's clear out first. He says, and then keeps looking around. I got to unlock that from the outside. You surprised no chemical suit on this? Well, we're already infected. You start infected, so... Gotta watch out, because if he sees me from up there, he'll charge. That's why you make a gear axe before a flamethrower. That's our stim wearing off. Let's get that back. Let's see if we can test out a can bomb. Oops. Well, that seemed to be much better. I wish it would hold that just a little bit longer after you release the... Oh, that is good now. I like it. Is that spider inside? I think it is. Okay, can bombs are a thing now. No, don't be sad. It's okay. You've resigned the fact that you're one of the 95% of people that are going to be infected, and you want to do good for humanity. So in your dying days, you get out there and you give it back to those that have already turned, and get supplies for the 5% of people that are going to hopefully live. We're a hero. I'm gonna drop this fuel off, then I'll come back to the house for the spider and the supply cache. Guns blazing? Yeah, or Wolverine stabbings, or a bunch of different ways. They're all good. Hey, buddy. Oh, you son of a... So much battery. Is that everything? There's 2 stims down there, so we'll probably use both of those. And there's a supply crate? Okay, I didn't see that one. I think that's a yellow one. I'm going to use it anyway. It is. Good. No gear. I'm gonna see what's inside here. I think there's a stim inside, but I want to we'll use both of them before we, or use one of them and pick up the other one before we leave. That's some more 5.56, which is great. Let's grab that. Because I didn't let this gate open. Okay, I'm gonna grab that, use this one, which cuts it off a little bit soon. Pick up the new one. Head on out. We are looking very good. I'm going to skip the rural neighborhood. We're going to go straight to the safe house and fuel up there. We'll probably go to McHale's and then skip the campfire and go to the supply cache. Hey, Khan, how you doing, baby? I'm feeling great, man. I had pork ribs today. It felt so wrong getting these nice pork ribs and scraping the meat off with a knife, cutting it and eating it with a fork. There's just some things you can't do with a beard. But, you know, I still get to eat them. Oh, man. So good. What'd you forget, Jack? I guess if you knew, you wouldn't have forgotten. Panz, you're an idiot. Shut up. The button? What button? Oh, barrel, yeah. Let's get some more propane made. Oh, you can make can bombs at the fire. That's good to know. Wonder if Molotovs got worked up in that fix. There's the gear. Okay, that's our flamethrower. Firearm part. Flamethrower. Battery. Battery. Everything's good there. Ammo check. We've got enough propane for the end. We've got 9mm at the moment and some 5.56. We've got some 45 too if we need to swap back. Might use the 45 up before the 9mm in case we get an MP5. Alright, so let's swap out our... let's put the 45 back on. Do I have a red dot? No. Don't want the muzzle brake on that yet, but we'll put a scope on. Good, let's go. Do we have any more fuel? Oh, that's interesting. 3 fuels, okay. Might not give us a skip though. The Bloodlust is pretty cool. It's a good early game melee before claws. If you can't get a gear axe and you're heading to the wall, you want something for the Hulk dude. Oh, we're going to McHale. Okay, so we should be able to get some fuel here as well. And whatever he's selling, and then hopefully we can skip to supply cache. And then once we get into the sunken city, we want in and out, just fuel and out. I'm tempted. I kind of want to see what happens if you just make progress and then go to leave. You can't leave if there's a spider. Unfortunately, so you can only leave if you've got 1 fuel. I don't think you can leave off 0. Oh. Now also, unfortunately, slaying that spider has had some noisy implications. I honestly think if you played your gear insurance well, I think you could win streak by manipulating your gear insurance at the end with a rifle and a suppressor. And then you just use the first zone to get other things. Lock gates at the safe house. Is there a reason? No, there's no. I think there was a bug where you could get through, but it's just so that you know like that's the zone of the safe house. It feels silly the way you drive in and the way you drive out that they happen to be locked, but I imagine that you pull up outside the gate, unlock them, drive in, and then lock them behind you. I don't know. Yeah, the way they drive in is kind of silly, but it's just to keep you in that little area. There's nothing out there. Someone did break out. There was nothing out there. Do we need to buy another battery? I have 11. Yeah. Alright, let's sell up the melees. And our range stuff. I won't be using that. I will be using that. You can have that. I won't be using that. I don't know if I'm going to swap to the M249. They're fun, but I don't think we need to. And I probably won't be going to the sports shot now. He's got no stuff. Let's buy some things. Let's definitely pick up the 45s. The 9mm. I'll grab the grenade. The 40mm grenades are fun. Let's take the battery anyway. You never know. I like to back out after I've made some purchases just to make sure. Sometimes all your inventory doesn't seem to load. Like with that, we did have some more melee weapons to sell. That's our 9. We're using the M4. I don't think I'm using that, but I'm not going to sell it to him if it's gone off. And want to use the Ambrose or the... Okay, let's go to that and that. Attachments, I only need 2 aiming lasers. I only need 1 extended mag. And get rid of the bottle suppressor. I don't think he's going to buy it. We'll have to just drop... Oh, no, he will. Because I've got the improvised. I don't want the muzzle brake for the pistol. Back out again. The bolt cutters, there are bolt cutters in the game. You need to cut from the outside of a gate. So whereas you're sort of locked in the safe house, but there's zones that have a locked gate and you can walk up and unlock that gate. Sometimes the gates are broken on somewhere else so you can walk through not needing the bolt cutters, but other times they're not. There's usually a lot of military stuff that is locked behind a gate and you can get in there. In one of the zones it's an actual Herc thing behind the barricades, so if you go to that zone for that, and usually there's also a supply cache in there as well. So that's a really good one. The bolt cutters are high priority. If I was doing another save file, it'd be towards the top, getting the bolt cutters. Okay, so he's got nothing else. Do I want to get painkillers? Buy my buy my bottle and my bricks. Okay. Got 13 bricks. He's building that house, man. I'm just going to buy the painkillers because I can, and then I can sell off some other stuff that I won't use. I'm probably not going to boil the contaminated water. He's only got $1 left. Have a rusty canned food. Alright, we've got 4 fuel. Do I want to go for the other fuel? Kinda do. Our stim situation looks good. Let's see what this is. I want to be careful though. I think spider could be a problem. Chungus will be fine. Oh, there's Chungus there. He might have seen me. He's seen me. So I don't know if he's going to surprise us now. I would very much like for one of those to be fuel. One of them's a stim. And now that we just sort of spent a bit of time doing stuff, I wouldn't mind getting that stim. There's Chunky Boy there. So I think he's sort of trying to cross the bridge. It's a bridge too far for him. That's fuel. Where's this stim? Okay, we can go straight to cash, which is nice. And then the plan will be for that one, maybe shopping, skip the abandoned compound and go to safe house, and then go to Leighton Bridge. Yeah, it's feeling good. I think driving over those zombies actually does damage at the start. Okay, there's Chunky there. Bang. Okay, we're gonna have to engage with him. Oh no, go. Here's a use for the bolt cutters right here. Ooh. Yeah, you drive over them. One of the things we need to hopefully see is fixed is that driving over fire doesn't let you leave the vehicle on fire. That's been a little bit of an issue. Just a little bit. Still not bitter. Hashtag not bitter. Do I have a shotgun choke for this? No. Because the gate's there, and I'm probably not going to be using the shotgun, that's why I'm using the ammo for it. The shotgun's not terrible. As you can see, it does the work, right? Eventually. He's armored. But it allows them to catch up to you. Like, if there's a lot of them, if you've got the dodge reload perk, then I think the Ambrose is okay because it's got an okay fire rate and it kills. Right? But the reload is normally what gets you. Oh no, don't be in there. I need that. Is it a roguelike campaign or what? Rogue-lite. It does have a story campaign that interrupts the roguish the first time you get to each section. I think there's like... there's 10 story missions that you only play through once. Or 11, sorry. You do go to a couple of those zones again in all the other playthroughs, in all subsequent playthroughs, but you don't have the story elements anywhere further. And then it's as much rogue... it still feels roguelite afterwards, even though once you've unlocked everything, you could make arguments for roguelikeness. But it's definitely balanced around making the each gameplay loop character stronger with a meta currency. And there's a couple of currencies that you keep over from run to run. Okay, plenty of fuel. Got a drop. Got a stim out the front that we can pick up. It doesn't look like there's another stim here. Let's grab this fuel. That should be enough. Let's see the other fuel in case it says this one's really heavy. That should also be enough. Okay. Let's open up this. Is that something behind there? Oh, I almost missed that. That's the infected antibodies. You do not make a base. No. It's more roguish. It's definitely it's not a campaign. It's just a short story that plays alongside the roguelite. Just to put a little bit of story behind it, which I like, the little bit of story they put behind it, but I think a lot of it is to stop people whinging that there's no story. There's just a lot of weapons. There is some 5.56 there, but I think I might just send that back to base. Let me shoot this. And then they fixed that up really good with the sandbags. There we go. Oh, and that's great. The sandbags feel great now. That's such a good change. Looks like there's a stim on the side of this hook. Also a free stim in here. Yeah. I'm so happy that got fixed. That is huge. It just feels good. Being able to set up behind the sandbags. Almost as if they're sandbags that you can barricade yourself with. It's only 4 fuel. We'll go back and get the other one. Then we'll fill up the car, fix the engine. Probably change off the shotgun to something else. I don't know. I'm having fun with the shotgun. Stim available. Yeah, we're not going to get it. Oh, it's a free. Alright, so let's use this stim, finish off this stim a little early since we've got one sitting here. Let's get out. I'm going to skip the first military outpost. Go to the second one. There's a vendor and a Herc thing there, so that'll be a good zone for us. I don't know if that'll be enough fuel to get us to the safe house. Hopefully it will be. I think there was a 4th one in there as well. There was another one on the side of the Herc thing that I didn't get. Oh, so that was the 3rd one? Either way, yeah, very pog. It was very pog. Definitely means you can take a bit more time as well when you know there's an extra antiviral sitting around. You don't have to, you don't feel so rushed, especially when you know you've got the, okay, there's a, she's there. she freaks the crap out of me. I don't know why. Like, I'm just massively afraid of poison. I'd like to thank everyone for coming now that you know where I am. Grab your ears. There's something down there. We'll go check it out. I shouldn't be looting cars right now. I should be... Look at these guys. They all heard that noise before. They're just slowly walking their way around. Hopefully I can... Dang it. I'm hoping I could be sneaky. Oh, they both got... I don't want to start using my flames on guys like that yet. If I had a little bit more flamethrower, I'd probably use it on them. How much do I want to be looting here? I don't think we want to be looting all that much. Ooh. Well, okay, maybe. Just a little bit. You're in T3? Nice. How do you like the change to the sandbags? Oh, that's a lot of 5.56. I'm taking it. The newly patched content's really good, yeah. Being able to shoot over the sandbags is a must. Plus now it makes them viable to fall back to if you get in too much trouble and they're within range. Also the hand bomb's good now. Hand bomb's good now. I need to replace that stim, which we should be able to do at the Herc thing. Almost out of our... Oh no, I just picked up some more. But I want to start using my... I want to start using the MP5. ¿Por qué no los dos? Mikhail, what's going on, buddy? RPGs? Probably not. Am I going to use the LMG? Nah. I like the M4. LMG's really fun though. You love RPGs with dragons, elves, and... Oh. I could use the AK, because then we've got something for the 7.62. I do have a bunch of 7.62 if we want to go nuts. Although, I've got the 9mm and the M4. Oh, yeah, why not? Okay, so that's for the 45, the shotgun, Prime 5.56. Let's sell that. That looks good. I only need one of those. I only need one of those. I probably don't need any more tape. Let's get rid of some of these first. Probably don't need 20 med kits. See if anything else I want to buy. Oh, that just in case. Now, where's that stim? I want to replace that stim if I can. Okay, there's one here. I want to see what's inside though. You know what, let's Is it not going to alert anything? That's a freebie. Go the VS SMG. Yeah, why not? Hey. Okay, let's... That feels dirty. Okay, let's get rid of the shotgun now. I don't have a suppressor for that. But I think I got enough ammo. I can put the muzzle brake on it now. Oh, that's gonna own. Let's gonna use a battery for half a stim. Fuel? I probably could have gone fuel first. Ah, it's alright, we'll get it. Oh, that's heavy. It's not going to be an efficient use of 45s, but, you know, I don't really care. Now, I don't want to go the abandoned compound because they're rubbish. But maybe it's better for... No, I think the shopping's better for fuel. And then we'll go through to the safe house. If this hadn't been an abandoned compound and not that one... This is where you can see it costs 2 fuel to go there or 2 fuel to go here. But I don't want the compound. It might have a stim outside, but I just want to pick up fuel and get to the safe house. We're pretty much on run home now. I don't think there's... Yeah, we've been on kind of run home, but I wanted to scout that zone. Because that layout that we just were in was a really good layout. I probably could have gone back towards the middle from this side and got some things, but... Okay, there's a fuel icon showed up straight up. There's... hang on. Damn it, where is it? Sons of bitches. Now let's send that home. I don't need 10 pieces of tape right now. I'll take your ear. I want to see if this is fuel. So, oh man, they all hurt us. That is so good. I love the VS. Oh man. Hey Ragnar, how you doing? Hang on. Can't eat or drink in the I want to make some can. Do I have explosives? I've got 1. And you can't... Do I have a can? I've got 2. Okay. So I wanted to make sure that I had that bottle in case I wanted... Because I checked my stamina. Because you can't eat or drink in this safe house. Yeah, some of the late game guns, but it chews through bullets, right? We don't have a lot of 45, but I was kind of wanting to run out the 45s anyway before we got to hell because I only had a pistol. And so if I've got the 45s and the 9mm, I want to use those before getting into hell where I want to be automatic. I got the tier 2. Yeah. Should have had a win, but we got I'm not bitter. We got bugged. And then I got overrun. Partially my fault, but also because the sandbag issue, but the sandbags have been fixed. So now you fight behind the sandbags. They're so good. But yeah, I was fighting in between sandbag areas. It's the one in the foresty type place where there's a huge red canister next to a supply cache, and then also it has a Herc station a bit further over to the right, and it has the locked gates that you used to get into. And I accidentally, prematurely blown up side of the barricade, which I wouldn't have done anyway, but I might have fought behind it. But anyway, yeah, because you used to fight out in the open because the barricades are poop, right? The barricades are really good now. Like, really good. Oh, can bombs as well. Oh. Can bombs going off. Hey, Crit. Took two maladies in addition to the decay you already have, and literally the next floor as a fountain to remove all curses. Nice. That's bad? Why is it bad? They fix some stuff, but not everything? What do you want to... You want to wait for them to fix everything before they patch? I'd rather get some fixes, like some of the important fixes straight away. The changes they made are really good. And most importantly, they reduced the cricket sound. I go straight to the bridge. Oh, feeling good. I'm sure they'll get around. The way they're going, oh, they fixed the collisions with chairs and boxes and buckets and stuff. So you still kick them around now, but you're unaffected, which is huge because it was such a pain. But yeah, it feels really good now. Hey. Dude. You saw the changelog, but only PC? Yeah, unfortunately, it's because to change stuff for PC, they write the patch and upload it and do the Steam thing, and it's done. It's deployed. To make the changes for console, it has to get vetted, which means someone for PlayStation and Xbox separately, someone for PlayStation, and if you do it for Xbox, someone for Xbox, and same with Switch. Someone checks over it. Basically like a verification. Right? So sometimes it's worth it for them to wait a little bit longer because they can't put out lots of small patches. It's, it's better for them to have a decent sized patch, put it out for platform, and that way when it gets done, and they can work it out. Unfortunately, it does mean for PC they can start making small improvements. But at least in that way, the console players can see the small improvements and know that they're actually working on the game. It gives everyone that bit of hope that the game's being worked on. I don't want to go down that bunker, but I'll have a quick look around for fuel. There's fuel right there. Is that a charger? No, these guys aren't chargers. I'll wait for stim. There could be a stim there. That is a stim. Okay. So let's clear this bit out. Okay, so we can grab that stim when we need to. I'm going to grab this fuel from the skellies. Hopefully without getting done by the thing. There's that stim. I'm going to quickly run over and get that now, and hopefully we can get some eyes on. I want to know what this the other key point is. I don't need the for the 45. I'm using the I'm not going to collect any of that. I'm using the VS to run it out. They need to fix that bug from the that's the what I can't loot here is the ears from the on fire skeleton. It's a workbench, so I don't need it. Is it possible to get the chip so the turrets don't shoot you? I don't believe so. Haven't seen any sort of indication that that could be a deal. Okay. Huh. I don't want any of that forest issue. I don't like these bunkers. Strategically. I like them as a design, but I don't want to play it. So I think we're just going to go straight across the bottom. We'll go safe house. Watchtower, observation post here with all the stuff is good. Military checkpoint if we need to. Into the win. Into the win. You can't skip zones, but you can get straight back in your car if you're not happy with where you are. I don't know why they've done that, to not have the fuel consumption in the final zone. It seems... I don't know. Our car's driving over a mine. I heard the... Okay, I'm gonna have a quick nudge up there to see if it's if there's a stim on the outside or fuel. Stop. Just. Well, grenades are alright. It's a workbench and a stim. Do I want it for a quarter of a stim? Yeah, I got a lot of batteries. And if it's not gonna, and if I'm not getting fuel from here, it means I'm gonna need to. There could be fuel down in that thing, but I don't want it. Yeah, if I'm not getting fuel, it means I'm going to have to creep around one of these and clear it out at some point. So I'd rather be high stimmed. You're going to have to be careful because there's going to be some chunky boys. .556 is good. Definitely want to watch... Okay, stim. Definitely want to watch wayward bullets here. That's it for 45. Let's go... The MP5? Come here. That's the, antivirals. I've only got 2 hits left on my thing, so I think I need to get rid of those. Let's... Not gonna take this. I can hear a beeping though. Oh. Okay. I'm gonna need to be careful here, I think. Hang on. Let's... I'm going to take this because we can defend it, but I was really hoping for... Oh, there's fuel's there. Okay, hang on. I wonder if you blow that up if you lose the fuel. Send that back, we're good. Oh, man. The canister behind it. You know why I should have taken the LMG over the M4? Is the capacity. On the time before reload. It's another supply depot. Hard to beat more Daka. I know, right? Daka. It depends. I think at this stage of the game, especially when when you're kicking a generator, I want more time between reload, right? I'm on fire. Look, I'm on fire again. Okay, hang on. Think about this when it happens. What do I want to do? Drink of water. No. I can. Okay, we've got one fuel. We can make it to the supply depot, but there's a good chance it won't fill us up. Oh, make it to the safe. Is that a chonky? That's a huge chonky, so I need to be careful. I don't want to pull him. But I do want to give myself to get a chance of fuel. Because I think, based on the map, if we fuel up, if we get to full... at the safe house... He's looking right at me. Away. I could also flame him. I think if we... Oh, I think there's a second one up here. No fuel. So I'm going to leave. I don't need the supplies that bad. I don't want to risk pulling a juggy. It's a shame. If we could have gotten even 2 fuel here, I think that might have been enough to get us to the final stop from the safe house. Whereas in the past, this maybe gives 2 or 3. I don't think I've gotten a fill up from this one. Although I can see a fuel can right there. This could be a double... Oh, come on. Heading straight over here for the fuel. After I loot other things. Panz, your definition of straight overhit shot up. No fuel. Okay, how many can bombs can I make? All the can bombs. I've got more explosives, no cans. Let's eat some cans. I've got more explosives. How much explosives do I have? One more, okay. I need to find a fire so I can make some alcohol. Or propane. Stim and a half should be enough too. Nope. I don't have any alcohol. Okay, that's fine. Oh, 2 bags. Alright, we'll take these both to the car. It's nice to have supplies back at the base. Wasn't so far away. So 2 fuel is all we get. I really wish there was fuel at that previous stop. That would have been good. The chairs, pushing the chairs around. Feels good, man. Oh, there's alcohol. We can make some. And another can. Another explosives. Good. There's this bag I dropped. Did I pick them both up? Did it lose it? Did it? Must have dropped it into the ground. Unless I didn't. Huh. Or I picked it up. I don't know. No, I would say drop it off if I picked it up. Must have disappeared. No, it's back there. Where'd you go, bag? Okay, so it doesn't show it when you get further away, but then it shows it here when you... I think it's dropped through the floor. No, that's the workbench. That's using the workbench, that one. Unless it went... Make it back into the house over here. It's not a big deal. Oh, that's a different bag, but it looks very similar to that. Yeah, I don't know. It just disappeared. That's alright. Okay, so that'll get us to here. We just want in and out. Our stim level's good. Our weapons are fine. We just need to make it there. So we... Hey, Severo. I need to check to see if I can limit those to 1 per person ever. Okay, Okay, I'm sufficiently scared enough that I want this to be flamethrower now. I don't want to be running because I don't want to not be running because it's time, but I don't want to be running because it uses stamina. Okay, stim is fine. Fuel. Need fuel. We have no fuel. That is a non-fuel cash drop. Fuel. Okay, good. Off. Why is it not showing my fuel? I think it's saying 4. Come on. Hell, 69%. Yeah, that's Mikhail. Some 9 mils. I probably don't need the battery. Sell that. I'm not going to use any 45 if I get it. The game's not showing me how much fuel we have. How much do we have? I have 2 fuel, which will get us to the checkpoint. That's a checkpoint I'd rather skip, so I'm going to try and find the fuel here. Sugar. Yeah, we can be fine. That's how you get rid of Big Chongy. But I think starting the car did that for us. And the visual effect. Why is the sun so bright at night? Oh, dude, that grunt, man, scared the bejeebus out of me. That is, I think that this, whatever the light flare is, that really needs to be turned down, hey? I'm going to take this because we've got so many batteries and send it home. I need it to be fuel. Just needs to be fuel. Oh, I think this is bugged out. It's this, it's whatever this is causing that brightness. And I think it's bugged. Okay, there's a fuel here. I am not setting this off. Okay, where's the fuel can? There it is. Use the stim. Grab the replacement and get out. Can I get out? Oh no, am I stuck in here? Oh no. Sugar. I'm not setting this off, I just want to see if I can take care of Chongi before he sees me. And then maybe we can get out. Oh no, please sir, I'd like to get out now. Oh, okay. Now, potentially could set off that perk thing. Because it doesn't look like there's many people around or bad guys around, but because the vision is so poor, and I think the game, the way the light's working out is because of the that gate is clearly having some extra illumination from it somehow. I think it's throwing everything off in this zone. Because it was just... Yeah, so much light. We have enough fuel to go home. Just gotta go home. Feels good, man. Don't screw up. There's a big chunky boy right there. That's... The crap is with these chunky boys? Oh, 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 oh. I see you. Oh, I should loot them, I get these. There we go. Flamethrower mandatory? No. I think it's the easiest one, because the fire itself bypasses its armor, so you can just take it out. You can get the timing right and use the hand claws that I've got to strip the armor in one sort of hand claws. Like, he's got what seems to be a cooldown between attacks. So when he stomps or attacks, you can get in there for and melee the armor off and get out and shoot. But you can't try to kill because he'll swing in the meantime. I don't know if there's armor shredding, but I think later there's incendiary. There's an incendiary muzzle. Okay, I don't know if I need the flamethrower here or... I mean, we're going loud. Let's Play safe. I don't think I've got an extended magazine for that. Oh, okay. In the bunker, you can throw pellets through the ceiling out the door. Really? You can just flamethrower this though. If you've got enough. Here we go. You can also, once you beat the game once, like the first time you play through, you have to clear out this room of enemies, and it gives you a percentage as part of the quest. After that, though, you don't need to. So you can potentially, you can go for a ballsy runner right now. If you want to just, you know, shoot through the glass and ignore these guys. You can ignore the Hulk if you want to do that. You can get the Hulk to go back into the previous zone and lock him in there and then come through. But the first time through, you've got it. You have to kill him. Tier 2 done, chat. After trying the serum, Tyler Pope is dead. But not in vain. Ah, that felt good. Played a little slower than what I wanted to at the start, but and I think it was worth it just to try and gauge the changes and see how they go. But no, it felt really good. Looking forward to tier 3. All right, it is looking forward to tea time, actually. Yeah, make a cup of tea, hit the little stream room, come back. We'll have a look at some of the tier 3 difficulties. Go again. I'll be right back.